Hi everybody, this is Don Derwin. I'm in the Royal Bhutan Airlines DrukAir PMDG 777-200 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And this is my 5th week. I'm painting this thing and I'm finally finished. And this is a continuation video of my previous videos, so I'm not going to cover everything, but it's going to be a paint tutorial from painting PMDG 777 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and it's a different format, so that I had to figure out how to do. Also, the main thing I'm doing this plane because I was coming in and landing at the world's most dangerous airport, as they say, and I wanted to see if I can do it in the 777, you know. And well, what happened was I was around by China, Hong Kong, and I was just looking at all the different airports I can land at. I'm like, oh, what's a cool airport I can land at? So I kept on just going further and further and further because I just wanted to, you know, do some touch and goes and like, well, I want a better airport. So I just kept on searching and searching. It's like, okay, the next better airport. Come on, let's go to a better airport, you know. And I kept on just doing that. Then I came across this one airport, Paro International, and I finally got there, and I'm like, I put my plane there, and I'm like, wow, and I seen all the mountains, and it's like, it looks like a really hard approach, you know, to come in. You can't do an ILS on that; it's too hard. You come in, you kind of gotta come in between two mountains, and then the same way coming in the other direction, got to come in between the mountains. And the high elevation airport, it's like, I think it's a 7,500 about, and then there's mountains all around it up to like I think maybe 17,000 feet, and it is pretty hard to do. you know that it is. But, and it's only rated for, like well, they fly the Airbus A320 there. And, but I found on flightsim.to they got a Bhutan Airlines, a 737, you know, which is the appropriate plane to fly there. And it's a lot easier to do it in that thing than here, but the 777, that's really hard to do. But I can take off with half fuel, only half. I don't know what the payload was, but I can just barely get off the ground at half fuel, but I can land, you know, just fine. But it's still even hard to land. But that's when I got the idea of I wanted to paint the airplane that was rated for that, you know, airport. There's a DrukAir there's only two airlines that fly there. You got DrukAir, then Bhutan Airlines, and so in Flight Simulator 2020. They have 737. That's already painted at flightsim.to. You can fly that one. And as far as I know, they don't have any 777 painted in that livery. So I decided to make a livery of that, and maybe have some people go land at the world's most dangerous airport, you know, in a 777. You know, but that's why I made the airplane, and I do want to continue to to land, do some more landings there. But anyway, and then I wanted to do a tutorial. And that's the main reason that inspired me to make the airplane. But then I figured I would do a tutorial, so if some people wanted to learn how to paint. But I was doing this, the pylons. I figured the pylons would be all right if I didn't do the pylons. But I started looking at them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm finished with it. I might as well just do the pylons. So I made some significant changes in this airplane. And also, I also did the interior by using the tail. I used the tail here, the tail logo with the red and the yellow, and I painted it on the seats, and it looks really, really good, really outstanding. It's the best I've ever done on an interior. But anyway, I redone the pylon. What I done, it was from a British Airways pylon, but the brightness, I increased the brightness. It was almost good, but I started to do the pylons, and I figured, well, you know what, maybe I should just try adjusting the layer a little bit to try to get it to match. So it actually worked out pretty well. I mean, it pretty much matches now, but it's not exactly the same, but you can't tell the difference hardly. But so what I done is I did the brightness of +20, the contrast of +28, and then the levels I did a 0.44. Then I did another, after I'd done that, then I did another second brightness of a -15. And that's how I got that, and then it made this a little bit darker here. So that, then I adjusted this a little here, got that a little bit darker. And then one cool thing that I was thinking of, you know, since they got a dragon back here, like when you go into configure in the aircraft menu, then you put identification, go there, and then call sign. Then I have a call sign of dragon, you know, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's got a dragon tail. But just, I don't know, something kind of neat. But anyway, I redid the pylons here, and I did some other stuff here. So and I'm glad I done it, because I figured out a lot of other things that I was trying to fix. So now they look pretty good. Here's the other one, and they were off a little bit, so I adjusted them. I got this a little bit better, and now they look, you know, a lot better there. Then the one thing that I was looking for, this probably a water drain, sure, maybe a lavatory drain, but I was actually looking for this texture here, and I did finally find it. But the reason why I was having so much trouble looking for the texture was because when I first put the bitmap on there, I didn't align it properly, and I was off by about 3 or 4 pixels, and that's quite a bit. But because I just wanted to see how it would look, and I wasn't really intending on really finishing the whole paint. But I just wanted to do a quick see if it would work, and I never fixed it. And I just kept on painting from then on, and that's one mistake that if you start on a paint, don't ever screw up the layer a little bit. You know, it's like when you go click on and off the layer, you know, there should be no movement whatsoever, none. Then you know you're in the right place. But I think I was off like 3 or 4 pixels. That's quite a bit. But you should be right exactly on. That's one thing to do with painting is don't ever do that. And you know, and it plagued me throughout the whole process of the paint. You know, because once you have everything lined up the way it's supposed to wrongly fit, you can't just rightly fix it because everything will be screwed up from then on. So I just plagued with the thing. So anyway, enough of that. And then here's the other one too, and I forgot to put the hot thing on there too. That's another thing that I forgot. You know, this is another one. So, but anyway, so that's good there. And then what I done is I got I'm like, oh, I was looking at some other planes. They got cut here to emergency. I'm like, all right, I made one of these then. I made one of those. And plus, when I was coming up here looking at this, I noticed that my antennas here, just by the sake of luck, I guess, I was looking at these antennas, and I'm like, oh, that's where those yellow things go, because I couldn't figure out where on the bitmap those parts went. I'm like, oh, so that's where they go. You know, I didn't know they were up here. And then, so what happened was I had a little bit of a layer here, like a white, I don't know, it's kind of weird. There's like a white film layer on top of it. I've been taking it off. I don't know why it's there or anything. But I was just, you know, taking it off, and it does affect. So they were here, so I fixed that. So I had to go back into my paint, and that's another thing. Always save your work in progression, you know, like progress, you know, so you could always come back. And yeah, let's look at this, and they look a little bit blue here, but that's the way they're supposed to look from the default. I don't know why I thought maybe there was something wrong, but I think that's maybe just a shadow. But then I got this in here. Got here emergency again. Alright. Here's this other one here. I really don't know. I was trying to do this, and I could not ever get this out of here. I don't know exactly why that's like that. I tried covering up. I'm not sure why. Could be a film on top of it there, like a transparency there. But and one thing too I noticed with this new texture here, I noticed it in the cockpit when I had when I was doing aircraft number. To cover up the other number, it was bleeding through, and I've never had that in a paint before, where it would bleed through. You know, when you cover up a number, I mean, then you should not have a problem with it. But this texture, I guess, the new format, it's not very good, so it's kind of transparent. So I had to put 2 layers to hide the numbers. You know, the other numbers below. But just beware that when you're doing the paint. So, and then, you know, I got this a little bit darker, as I said there, but and I think that's about it. I think that's all I done. Alright, so leave you all off to the other segment, and I hope you enjoy the paint. And you can download it flightsim.com and flightsim.to eventually, but right now I'm only going to upload it to flightsim.com right now, but so if you want to download this, you can. So, and I hope you be inspired to paint. Oh, and another thing too. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I thought there was another thing. This thing here. Now I was looking at the engine, you know, and I was looking at it, and it was blurry. It was all blurry here because I was looking at the default airplane, and I'm like, why does that one look really good? And mine looks kind of terrible. And two, the fan exactly the same way in the default. I don't know why it does that. I think it's maybe because of the new format. I don't know why it does that. But I found out why this is like that, because when you stretch and skew one of the bitmaps, like you do have to do here, you know, like you have to blow it up to get it to match. I mean, to get it to be the proper size. The one thing when you're doing this is only blow it up once. Don't like do it 3-4 times, you know, because sometimes if you got adjustment, make an adjustment. Oh, it's too big or too small. Then you try to get the adjustment, and every time you do that, it just screws it up, and it makes it blurry, the texture blurry, because it reorganizes the pixels. And that was what was happening here. Now I don't know if I done that or somebody else did it. I don't think I done. I think it was a previous paint. But that's one thing you have to watch out for when you, like in that, especially when I had to start over with this Royal Bhutan Airlines one, because I started looking at it and it's like, oh yeah, it's all blurry. So I had to start over from fresh. You know, but once you got it the right size, you know, which is okay, but you just got to start over from the new one again. So, but the thing is you can only stretch it and skew it once. Don't do it twice. Just do it once, you know, because if you do it twice or 3 times, I mean, it just ruins it. I mean, it makes it all blurry. And that's what I had to do here, you know, just when you got the proper size, just don't touch it again. And if you have to fix it again, well, start over from new again. And don't ever adjust it. And that's the same thing that was done here. Was here because I was looking at it and everything was all blurry. And now it's not blurry anymore. Now I figured out why. So I use the default. So anyway, that's just one thing that another thing that I fixed also. That's actually pretty significant, that one. But now I don't think there's anything much more I could do. This paint is always in here. I'll just give you a sample of what it looks like in the interior. Alright. Now here's what it looks like on the inside. So I got 3 different pillows. There's that pillow. It's more closer color than first class seats. And here's this logo here. Alright, and then what would be really cool is landing over at Lukla and the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and the Bhutan Airlines one that you can get at the flightsim.to. I was thinking of taking some flights from here to Lukla and Flight Simulator 2020. It's about the same. And then keep on, flying this one here, the DrukAir, or just, do their flights, do their regularly scheduled flights. I think they got one to India and a couple other flights. I think that would be cool. Just, do a couple. Just fly at this airport for a little while, and I think that would be pretty cool. That's what I got inspired to paint this and landing at Lukla from here, Paro International to Lukla, and then Lukla, to here. I think that would be really cool. I wanted to do a Bhutan Airlines in the Bhutan Airlines one, but that's gonna have to, for a later time, because I spent 5 weeks on this already, and I got a lot more work to do the rest of this summer. But anyway, I hope you guys like the paint and get something out of this tutorial that I'm making, and I'm gonna try and make it really good so that you'll get some benefit out of it and learn how to paint. And some of my techniques, that I learned, because I usually paint with photorealistic painting, and it's a lot harder. But I suppose a little bit of both is good. But anyway. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I was just about to finish this and start figuring out how I'm going to upload the video and upload the airplane. Flightsim.com. It's the first place I'm going to upload it. And I was looking at this Rolls-Royce thing, and I don't know, I never really... I guess I wasn't paying much attention. But mine was a little bit big. And also I noticed another airplane that when I was looking at the pictures from a real aircraft, that they used the same color of the airplane. So it's just white and then painted on. So mine wasn't the same color, so I fixed that, and mine was a little bit big, so I made it a little bit smaller. So anyway, I'm glad I thought about, you know, trying to check that. Not that big a deal, but not that hard to fix either. It was real easy to fix, actually. But I wanted to fix that. Then when I was watching my video and I don't know, I really critique myself a lot, I guess. But I noticed there was a bunch of white spots, white little pieces from my paint. I mean, just a couple little bit of white stuff that I left there, not in, you know, accidentally, of course. There's like 10 spots, actually, more than I thought. I thought there was only like 2. I found like 10 of them across the fuselage around here. So I fixed those up. Still couldn't find this this thing. I quit searching for it. Not that big a deal. That thing right there. I'm beginning to think that there's no way to fix that. Anyway, the new and improved engines here. Rolls-Royce logo. And like these engines, I don't know, I still don't know why that colors are like that. I'm not baffled by that. I'm attempting to ask PMDG about that. But anyway, alright, hi everybody, it's Don Derwin in the Royal Bhutan Airlines DrukAir in the PMDG 777. And we're at Kathmandu. And this is a video prior to my other video. And the reason I'm making this one first before the other one is that I was looking at this Royal Bhutan Airlines up here, and I was looking at it really closely, and I was never happy with it at all. Actually, I was really disappointed with it, the way it looked. But there wasn't anything I could do about it, because when you blow up the picture, I made it from a photorealistic image. When you blow up the picture, it ruins the quality of the you know, the photo, because it's way bigger than what it's supposed to be. but you have to do that in order to fit it on the fuselage. But and you can't do anything with it. You can't fix it because I mean you just can't do it. There's nothing you can do. So what I done was I was looking in my I'm like, you know, I'm like, I don't like the way that looks. I mean, it was really bad. I couldn't stomach it, you know, and every time I tried to make a video, I would look at that and I was like, man, I can't do that, you know. And it was just really bothering me. And so what I done is I found some aircraft. I looked back at my pictures of the airplanes, and they had Royal Bhutan Airlines, you know, a couple of them with the Royal Bhutan Airlines bigger, and then the DrukAir smaller. And so, lo and behold, it's a bigger picture with Royal Bhutan Airlines instead of a smaller one. You know, on this model they got the DrukAir really big and the Royal Bhutan Airlines smaller. But in the other model they had the DrukAir smaller and then the Royal Bhutan Airlines big, you know, up on top. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I could use that one. Like I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe. But I'm like thinking the colors will never match though, because you can never ever match from a different photo. I mean when you're doing a photorealistic paint, I mean even one pixel to the next is different, and so you'll never ever have the same color. I mean, technically speaking, yeah. And so it's really hard to match up things when you're doing a photorealistic painting, but that's kind of just the way I do things, you know. That's the way I've always done it when I was painting. But that's how I learned how. I mean, I just developed my own technique. But anyway, I went into image, adjustment, levels. Then I was playing with the levels, and I got 0.55 was the level that I had. And then it came pretty darn close to that color. I mean, I matched it pretty darn close. I was actually surprised it worked. Then I went into brightness -20, then the contrast of -7 in the Photoshop. But that screwed up the I mean, it just, I don't know, I put like 150 black spots on it. I mean, it was, I mean, this one never done that. I mean, but it put like black spots all over it. And I'm like, that don't look good. And at first I was just going to leave it, but then, like I said, I started to make my video, and I'm like, you know what, I can't make a paint like that, you know, with the black spots all over it, because it was really bad, you know. It was like it had a fever or something, or was sick. But I could show you what I mean. Like when you look up really closely, like this was a black spot right here. You know, right here was black, and so I copied and pasted. I just, you know, copied and pasted a you know, this color 150 times. Roughly. And then, of course, I shaped and skewed them, you know, to make them to fit. And I fixed all the black spots. You know, there's a whole bunch here and a whole bunch here. You know, if you really look close, if you look close, I mean, you could, I mean, if you really look up close, you can see it. But, I mean, but then it, you know, kind of ruins the, because there's a bunch of black spots here. You can still see some here, 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 you know, on here. But it kind of, you know, you don't really want to ruin the picture, you know, like this was kind of, I don't know what happened there, but that A, you know, I mean, but the black, it looks good. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be, you know. I mean, I don't know why it distorted everything the way it did, but, I mean, and then here, so, I mean, this is all, I mean, I left some of this here. I think that's okay. I mean, that, and then, you know, I had to fix some other stuff here, but there was black spots up here and there, you know. But, you know, I repaired it all, and, you know, this didn't look good, and, you know, it spent me 2 days. 2 days, making it look nice. I mean, it's really a long time. I mean, it's like 18, 20 hours at least, or more, maybe. But now, I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I could look at it and say, hey, that's nice. That's nice looking. You know. I mean, I could finally be proud of it, you know, because every time I would make a video and I'd be talking about it, I was like, man, it sucks. So, then when I'm done, I'm going to upload it. And when this is on YouTube, you can upload it. Because I'll upload it to flightsim.com. But this is the video prior to my other video. Yeah, look at the insides of this plane. I don't want to make this video too long, but just the sampling of it. I mean, this is really nice. And it did a whole interior. And I put a picture there. But you guys are really gonna like this airplane. And I did a nice, really good job. Here I made the pen, I made a nice pen. Did everything here, but this plane is really nice. Oh, and another thing too, I was looking at it and I seen there was like a couple of white lines here. I got rid of those. I don't know why. And then there was 2 on the other side also. I don't know how they got there. But anyway, now this plane really looks good. I mean, and that's cool with the dragon. This is the dragon tail. This plane really looks good. And this is a video prior to my other one. And I don't want to be too long because I covered everything in the other video. And make a tutorial on how to paint also, you know, so I'll do that also. But this is the airplane. It's finally done and it finally looks outstanding. I mean, I give myself an A+ on it. I mean, it really, really looks good. Alright. So, I will let you guys go and to the next video. This is where I start out. So, I am finished with this segment of my presentation of the Royal Bhutan Airlines DrukAir. So enjoy the rest of the other video. Okay, hope you appreciate it. Okay, bye. Alright, hi everybody, this is Don Derwin. I'm in the Royal Bhutan Airlines DrukAir PMDG 777-200 for Flight Simulator 2024. I'm over at Kathmandu, and I've been working on this painting for about 4 weeks, and sometimes it maybe put 12, 15 hours, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, roughly about, give or take, you know, but it's a long process painting. And I'm finally finished. And, you know, I mean, every time I sit there and I look at it and it's like, hey, I'm finally finished. And I'm like, no, I forgot that. So I've been doing that for a week. But I finally finished up everything, and you know, I'm like, oh, I can make this look better, and then like, yeah, I can make it look better. Sure, why not? Now I'm done making it better. And I was going to do the Bhutan Airlines one, but first I did the tail, the yellow tail, like, and then I came across this tail, the DrukAir, and I'm like, wow, that tail is awesome. That was better than another tail. And that's how I started doing this. And I still plan on doing the Bhutan Airlines one eventually, but you know, I need a break. But I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 4 weeks. Starting to go a little bit crazy here, a little bit bonkers, I would say. But what I plan on doing is making like a tutorial thing, you know, to show my progress of the painting of this aircraft. And I'm sure other people want to know how. And at first I couldn't figure it out because they use a different format. A format for their so the GPU processes the pictures better, or you know, the bitmaps, whatever you want to call it. So they changed that, and I was really confused about 3 days. I couldn't figure it out, and then finally it started clicking. So I'm gonna just a tutorial on everything right from the beginning. So other people, if they want to learn how, they can. And plus it's the PMDG 777, so I done it already, so you guys could learn also. But and then you could also download this file from flightsim.com or flightsim.to. But flightsim.to takes a little while longer, but I know flightsim.com, they'll do it right away, immediately. But anyway, I just showed the airplane, and I was using a PMDG paint kit. And you know, I come back and you know I thought about my paints, and you know I guess I do start the tail first. You know, I don't know why, but I guess I do. I was looking back at my painting, and I guess I just naturally do the tail first. I don't know exactly why I do that, but lately that's what I've been doing. And I didn't really pay much attention to it, but anyway, let's show you this airplane. And you know, I was using that PMDG paint kit. Boy, look at all this stuff they got. Man, they got. I didn't really realize how detailed everything is here. And at first I did, you know, I didn't pay much attention to it. But anyway, this thing, the Royal Bhutan Airlines thing, this took me a while getting this really good. Because it was a little screwed up at first. I mean, there was some stuff I had to take out of it. Just because it didn't look good, but because of the door, I had to edit this. It looks really good though now. I mean, it's, you know, I kept on looking at it and I was like, man, it looks crappy. I'm like, yeah, I know, but there's nothing else you can do. But then I'm like, well, you know what? Why don't I just fix it? And after looking at it for a while, I'm like, yeah, alright, I'll just fix it. And it turned out really good. Actually, it's really good, quite honestly. Except for up here, this, that's the pixelating of the pixels. I can't, nothing I can do there. The Royal Bhutan Airlines one, but, that's the best I can do. I mean, but I mean, that's looking way up close though. I mean, especially with this one, this camera. I mean, everything is really up close here. So I mean, you hardly even notice that. But then the mismatch things here. These things, boy, I don't know, man. That was hard to figure that out. But I used the wire frame. You know, the wire frame to find out where my the mismatch was, because there's a mismatch like around here. And I finally found it because there was just one little spot. And just I'm like, man. But, I'm like, oh, get it. It took me about 4 or 5 hours. Probably. And then here, got this all nice and good. Getting this all, I mean, it's hard getting all this stuff all straight. But it's looking really good. 2DD. A lot of detail in this airplane, that's for sure. I got the Rolls-Royce logo here like that, really good. the Cathay Pacific one. I had some mismatches here, I noticed, and then here, because I started doing that first, and probably a mistake, but I inherited problems that I shouldn't have inherited, which is not good. And still to this day, I've been looking for. I was looking for this thing here, this little thing, and you know what? I thought I found it. I really did. Thought I found it. I was like, oh, I think I found it. And you know what? And I didn't. I mean, this little paint thing here. I don't know if that's intentional like that or not. Could be intentional. That's about where it would chip off. But yeah, that was one thing I really can't. I'm beginning to think that just see, this one looks good here. Well, I like this here. Got the pneumatic maintenance. For putting hydraulic fluid in here. All the air pressure is in nitrogen. They use nitrogen. For the, you know, the cylinders. And yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like that. And this here, the other guy had this all screwed up. I had to fix this. But, you know, hey, that's alright. And a nice airplane. That's flying it around for a little while. But I got it fixed. Now it looks good. And then even got the country code here, A5. Correct country code there, and I put this here to Boeing 777. And this I think is the coolest part of the airplane. Actually, you know, this little design here, that's when I looked at this tail, I'm like, wow, that's cool. I like that tail. But as my paint progressed, I use this logo all over the place, and I just got ideas, and 'cause I did all the seats, all the interior, and all that, using this logo here, and it looks good. I mean, the tail is excellent, and I did a little rework on the tail, but actually this tail didn't require much work at all. I mean, not all that much. Compared to other paints, I've really worked hard on the tail, but this one I pretty much just got it all in, except for on the bottom. I mean, I pretty much pasted the whole thing in from a picture. I mean, this is really good. I mean, you don't get any better than this. I mean, yeah, excellent. But there was some you know, on the bottom here, I had to just paste it because I mean I had to cover up some stuff, the little, because of all my lines. But see, like maybe I don't know, maybe right here you can see a little bit, and then maybe here and here, maybe like, oh yeah, here you can see my where I pasted the thing. But I mean that's very, very, very faint. I mean you could hardly, you'll never see that. I mean, but I cleaned it all up, and then it's like, you know, beautiful, man. It really looks good. I mean, this I think is probably the one of the coolest parts of the airplane. This is that tail like that. I did the Royal Bhutan Airlines one also. I mean the Bhutan Airlines. But anyway, I'm tired. I love the sound of those engines. All right. Now at first, actually, I started doing the inside, and it really looks good. Best I've ever done on the interior of a plane, just because everything just started to work out. Alright, here we go into the cockpit here, and first thing, we got the Royal Bhutan Airlines pen. Pretty cool. Some more over here. And a pretty nice touch there. Except the top part here, tried to put Durk up here too, but it squashes it, so that doesn't work. tried to do it, tried to spend a couple hours trying to figure that out, but I ended up just forget it. It's like that's about the only thing I could do. I got the dragon on here and that on there, so that's the cool part anyway. I was actually looking all over for that guy. The guy had a bitmap, and I couldn't figure out where that went. And like, you know, I woke up the next day and I was like, man, you know, there's one thing I could not find, and I went and searched it on the internet. I just typed in the bitmap name, and I typed it in, and sure enough, they got one at flightsim.to for 2020, but not for 2024 though. It's not compatible with 2024, and that is true because the guy had one for 2020 and it didn't. It was all screwed up, and I couldn't figure out. I'm like, what? Why is it all screwed up? And I tried to fix it and try to figure out what was going on, and I determined that what the guy had absolutely did not work. And which, like they said, it's not compatible with Flight Simulator 2024. But so I got my own design, which is, you know, right here. I was able to get the Dragon in there, and the DrukAir, you can only put it here, and that's it. Because otherwise it was going here, and it was going up here. But this is the only place you can put it, is right there. But yeah, I tried. It took me 6-7 hours at least work on that pen. I mean, I couldn't believe. But it's a nice touch though. It's like, I'm glad I figured out where that texture went. Would hate to have uploaded my plane and not have the pens in there. So anyway, I'll see if I can get this good here. Alright, here. Alright, so we got the Kingdom of Bhutan. The capital is Thimphu. This is Royal Bhutan Airlines. Durk, Gelephu. He's the king of Bhutan. And I got it, Durk, Paro International. This is the code for the airport. And this is the noise certificate. And I put a signature here, Durk, Gelephu. I just having fun doing that. But there's the aircraft serial number. This is from PMDG serial number there. And then we got the airworthiness review certificate, serial number here, and then aircraft registration. It's an aircraft code, that's the right code. And a Boeing ER. Kingdom of Bhutan Civil Aviation Authority. And here's the certificate of airworthiness. That's a fictitious number from somebody else I found online, but anyway, Kingdom of Bhutan Civil Aviation Authority. An aircraft serial number A5772DD. That's my initials right there. Transport. Then Paro, the FCC. And then, last but not least, the Royal Insurance Corporation of Bhutan Limited. This is from Bhutan. Real insurance company. So, and I kind of did forget this one thing here that I got also. I got this in here, the tail number. And right when I was about finished, I like, well, I'm pretty much done. And then the night turned to day. I mean, the day turned to night, and all of a sudden I look at this, I'm like, what? My numbers were gone. And so you got to make a light bitmap for that too. So I did that, and also that would be really embarrassing if I finished the plane and didn't do that. But yeah, this is work on this, I think probably almost like 4 weeks and 3 days, I think. Depends. I really like those pens. That's a real nice touch. But anyway, the cabin, now that is a really cool part. That is really awesome. So you're really gonna like that. All right. So here we go in here. Things here. All right, now the cabin. All right, now this is excellent here. Look, I got pillows. It's a first class section. I put little pillows in here. I mean, they're not really pillows, but they're into the seat. So, and it just looks like a pillow. And then I did this all. This was a lot of hard work getting all this in here. And even finding this, I'll show you in the, this was actually the really hard part, finding that. This other guy had it overlapped. So I didn't know where it was. And so I got actually 3 different pillows in here. That's one pillow. And here's another pillow. This is a separate pillow. These are not the same pillows because you can tell by the wrinkle. There's a wrinkle here, and the wrinkle over here is not here. The wrinkle here is different. So those are actually 2 different pillows. And here's the other pillow. Same one. But this was actually really hard. I mean, I'll go through it with the painting, and if somebody's interested in painting it, I'll go through all the stuff that I had to do. So, I mean, and also you could download the plane too. I'll upload it, and you can download it. Got to land at the Paro International in the 777. So it's a first class section. Then and I did all this. I had to get all this in here too. This is a lot of work getting all that in there. And that actually, yeah, that was. Then there, look at this. This is cool. I just thought of doing this. The other guy had something on the wall here, and I figured, well, you know what? I might as well put my plane here. This is at Paro International Airport. That's the airport. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And here's the flight attendants from Bhutan. Oh, there they are. Oh, cool. I didn't mean to do that, but it happened good. But see, this is their actual, you know, the actual real flight attendants from Bhutan Airlines, because you can see the seats are yellow in the back. But there's two airlines. There's DrukAir and then there's Bhutan Airlines. This is actually Bhutan Airlines there. But that's the best picture I could get. So that looks really nice. So anyway, we got that, and then was the first class section, and then this thing here I made. This thing took a little bit of work here also. Getting everything on there, it took quite a bit of work. Getting that logo in there, it looks nice. Then here is the other section. And now these seats were actually harder than other ones. These seats were really difficult. There's actually, with these seats, there's four different seats. There's, well, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 different seats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. There's 4 different seats here also. So there's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, but they're scattered like 1 and 2. Actually, there's 8 rows. There's 8 rows of seats, but sets of 4. So, you know, and then but this was probably the hardest thing here because this pillow is not it's cut right here. It's cut. I had to look in the bitmap and I had to take a picture. I had to do a print screen. You go print screen there and then print screen and then bring it over to your bitmap, and you know, after you're done with Flight Simulator, and then you gotta adjust it, then you gotta fix it the best you can, and then come back to Flight Simulator and check how you did. Then every time you move it, you gotta take a picture. And that was really difficult because it was hard. I didn't want to do it at first. It took me probably about a day and a half, probably about 10-12 hours a day. I mean, yeah, 20 hours probably to get these seats in here. Well, not more than that, just a pillow. That's just a pillow. But yeah, there's still 3 different pillows here, but I noticed that the colors weren't as nice. This is more, looks like DrukAir. But that's the only pillows I could find. I found 3 different pillows. And then this thing, these seat backs, these were really difficult. Very difficult, more than I thought. These were the hard, and the reason being is I could show you guys here a little. because there's a back here. You can see this back here. And it's really hard to. Anyway, well, you see what I mean there, but what I was saying is this here on the bitmap, you can't tell what seat it's to. You have no clue. And there's 4 different seats. So the only way that I could find out how to distinguish what seat was what was I had different colors. I had a color here and a color there. You know, I pasted the 2 different colors there. And then I could match up the colors just to find out what seat I was working on. You know, I mean, you can imagine how difficult that could be. You know, if you try to make a movement, a measurement, you don't know what seat that am I working on. You know, so I had to put color codes for every seat. So that was something that if you guys ever want to do these seats, that's what you have to do. You got to color code the seats so you know what seat you're working on. Because otherwise, you know, you're going to be lost, which like I was for a while. But I don't know how long I worked on these seats, but these, I think they look really cool though. I mean, I think they look awesome. And there's 4 different ones, so I had to do it 4 different times. And I got this to match up to, and I even got this little thing in here. This was a lot of work too. And also down here at the bottom, I did this too on the bottom. Got the bottom all nice. See it? I tried to get this lined up there like that. But yeah, this little red spot here, this red thing, I had to line this up to get this to match here. So I had to put a little spot there and then make sure that lined up. And that was hard to do, but I mean, it looks excellent though, man. It really looks good. I'm really proud of myself, actually. I hope you guys like flying it if you download it. But anyway, now in these seats, try to land at the Paro International, the world's dangerous airport. But anyway, in these seats, now these are backwards because there's nothing you can do. But whatever, just this row here. Then here's I only have 3 seats, so there's 3 different pillows. So I got the 2 different pillows here. But here, this is one pillow there, and that's another pillow there. And then I guess the other pillow is over here. See, they're different. You can tell that they're different because of the wrinkles. But even this was not so hard to do. I think maybe I didn't have to do so hard on that little thing there. But these are all done on the bottom too. I made sure that this was done on the bottom too. And this is all nice. I mean that this was, you know, still colored on the bottom. And DrukAir. I like the colors there. The colors are really nice. But the reason I got the pillows is because I was watching the videos, and they always give the passengers a yellow pillow. And at first I did it with the Bhutan Airlines pillow. They give them a yellow pillow. And I'm like, man, that pillow looks kind of crappy. Like, man, it's just a yellow pillow? And then I thought the idea of, I looked at some pillows on the internet, and I found a couple dragon pillows. I'm like, hey. And then I actually resized this pillow to get it, make it look bigger. And it turned out all right. Turned out really, really nice. I mean, it looks very colorful. Actually, most work I done in the cabin, I mean, this looks really nice. And I got this in there too. I mean, but man, it is. You guys ever want to paint this thing too? I'm gonna show you guys how to the stuff that I had to go through to paint it. Some with the Photoshop and how to paint it, because it's a different format. So it took me about 4 or 5 days, well, maybe at least 4.5, 5 days to figure out how to do it. Well, yeah, about that. Yeah, about that. And so here, this is the picture again. All right. All right. Now, from my last video, I was looking at the fuselage here at the back end here, and I noticed that I didn't really spend a lot of time fixing this white line here. So I reworked this, made it look better. This is where the fuselage separates right here. You can probably see that there. But this I got to kind of match them together. Otherwise it might be a little mismatch there. But not bad. And this here, this is I know it's where the spot, and it's really hard to do because I can't erase this here because it's on 2 different bitmaps. So, but that's not too bad though. And here. But that's really the only spot where you can't really fix it here. I tried to smooth this here, but if I tried to smooth this in here, that would be I got this all nice and straight here, nice and neat there. Actually, that looks pretty good. Here I was trying to do something with this 200 ER. I was going to try and put aircraft number here, but I know it was really weird what was happening. I put a number there, made a different number, or this number, and then another number of the airplane. And for some reason it was taking the textures and putting them on the top of the fuselage here, but where the pilots sit, and then on top of the wings, and here also at the same time. So it was kind of like I don't know what was happening with that. So I did that a couple times, and I figured, well, I guess I can't do that, and I just gave it up. But so it kind of just stuck with that. But I mean, I was gonna try and put my name there, but I don't know. That didn't work out too well, so I never mind that. You know, I don't know what was going on. But yeah, this is finished with this plane. Looks pretty good. Now this stuff, you've never even noticed half of this stuff here, but I mean, this camera is really good. Spots a lot of everything. Just when I was making it, I put this white line here to try and even up the fuselage. You can still see a little bit of it, but looks pretty good now. This is where the rack is right here. Ram air turbine. Ram air turbine. Keep clean. This actually took a lot of work here. The reason being is the door. The door here on the other airplane was all across here. So I had to rework all this. And I redone the letters and fix this here. This is a little messed up. Fix the bottom. Did a lot of work reworking all this stuff, and made them darker. The real Bhutan, I only could do so much with that because you had to blow it up. But like I said, with this camera here, it's It's more up close than you'll ever see anyway. But anyway, then the next phase of the video will be I think the other airplanes. Showing you the other airplanes. Bhutan Airlines logo on the tail. So this is where this tail looks. Actually, that tail looks better than this one. But this is the tail here, Bhutan Airlines. So I guess I'm going to. It's the first thing I did on this plane here. And I'm going to have to fix those, change this around somehow. It'll take a little bit of dealing with. I'll have to change that around. Usually that's kind of difficult to do, but that's what you got to do. Anyway, I did this tail first. Actually, I started working on this plane at first. Then I seen a DrukAir tail. I'm like, oh, that tail looks pretty cool. But that'll work. But the only thing is, I started with this plane, which I'm really kind of not happy with this plane, because I noticed some stuff about it that it's not very good, which is not good at all. For one, well, here there's a lot of defects on here, because I used his texture there to for my sample, and this is all screwed up here. It's all screwed up over there, and then this also on this side. See, this I noticed too, because in my textures, this is not right here. This is a screw up. This part here, and there's some textures there. But after I finished my plane, I'm like, what? And I'm like, hey, don't figure. Look where I got my texture from. And, well, this one's alright. This one's not bad here. There was thing on mine. But oh, and then here, this is another thing too, which is forgot. This here texture's missing here. This part here. Other than that, this is a pretty nice airplane. I mean, you got a lot of stuff there that's not on the other plane. There was a whole bunch of different stuff in there, but I think the worst part about this plane is, look at the windows. I was doing the plane, and all of a sudden I'm like, what's the matter with those windows? I'm like, you know, because I didn't think much of it, you know, at the time I was working on it, painting. I'm just like, oh, I don't know, you know, and also these markings, these China markings, because I was doing the paint his first, that's what I started out with, and I figured out how to, you know, get rid of the windows like that, but then all those signs, I didn't know how to get rid of that, you know, how do I get rid of the China letters, you know, I really kind of I didn't know how, but I did figure out how to do that, and but this is here, this cabin here, And you can see he didn't really do much, but he had a painting there that inspired me to make that painting, and he had this for his thing. And then PMDG, then I'll show you in the PMDG plane that that seat. But anyway, this is how his plane looks in here. But yeah, those windows, I was like painting for, I don't know, maybe a week or so, or a week. I'm like, what's wrong with those windows? You know, because I wasn't really paying much attention. I'm like, what? But I did figure out how to fix that, and I'll show you how. Alright. Other than that, it's a pretty nice model. I mean, I was flying around. I didn't notice the windows. That's the only thing I don't like about PMDG airplanes. And see, their windows look beautiful. And I guess there's no logo there. But you see how these seats are here? This blue here, or no, this is where I got my red here. And then this was blue here. And it took me forever to find this color here. And it took me probably a day and a half finding a guy. I was searching for a long time. And just trying to figure out, find the texture. And what happened was the other guy before me had it covered up, so I couldn't tell. Had the texture covered up, so I could not see the texture. I just happened to run across that when I was doing the seats. I just going through looking at PMDG seat, and I'm like, I go, oh, they got this color here. That should be real easy to find. But I found this color and I still didn't have an answer because I still could not find where this was. I had to show you in a bitmap, but this took me a long time to do that. But I wonder what these look like here. See, their seats are just black here like that. But anyway, oh, PMDG. Cool, huh? Welcome aboard. Pretty nice. Anyway. Alright, that's all I wanted to do there. Now I'm going to have to deal with this microphone. Because I guess this microphone doesn't work that good. Now, those textures here, you see, remember that color that was showing on the seat here? The color there, that's that color on the seat. And then and I think this is that I don't know, yeah, I'll show you the other bitmap that but mainly when I found this color here, I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know why. But he had it covered up. That took me a long time to find. I just wanted to show you that if anybody wanted to know about that one color there. All right, now this folder structure, it's got to be right. So, because this plane, this the my community folder goes in here, and so I have this plane. I copied it in here, not the PMDG location. Royal Durk Airlines is right here. So, but if you were doing it, the PMDG one would be here. But I put it there. I don't know how much difference that makes, but I'm sure it does. But, you know, because this is where you put the liveries here. Like that. So you'd have a different folder structure if you were putting it in here. At first I did put it in there. It might work, but I didn't put it in there. I just left the folder structure the same as the other one. So this is the folder structure, and it's got to be correct. So and then sim objects layout N2 and this thing here, this right here, I think you can just look at this. This is, if you were doing this yourself, I was looking at this at first, and I'm like looking at this, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, what? I mean, I gotta write every path down to every texture? I'm like, man, and so then you'd have to write all the stuff. I mean, you would have to edit all this, but there's a program that does it. But you would have to edit this for every texture. You'd have to put the path, the complete path to every texture that you have. And then every folder and everything. And I'm like, what the heck? And so this guy made a program to do it for you. Because I started looking at that at first, I'm like, the heck? But it's real easy. All you do is it's this MSFS2020 layout generator. You just open this up, and then you don't have to do anything. Just put this, I leave it right on my desktop, and just take this layout JSON and just put it right over the top of it, and then open with, and it writes the whole everything you need to know. I mean, for the airplane that you're doing. I mean, and I did that every texture. I mean, every time I edited a texture, I just did that. Just so I didn't want it to screw up. I don't know if you really had to do that every texture, but the one guy says if you redo the textures, you should do that. But it's not too hard to do. You know, once you get the hang of it of doing it. And then, because it's a whole different format. Then you also have to get this thing, which is I have Windows Photoshop 6.0, Adobe Photoshop 6.0. I've had this for years, and I used to have Photoshop Elements. But I still got it, but it doesn't work anymore with Windows. So I had to go to Photoshop 6. Actually, I like Photoshop Elements better because it started quicker. But now on my faster computer, this thing opens up really quickly now. But I've been using the Adobe Photoshop 6 for my paint. It works. And thank God, because otherwise I have to pay $25 a month. And I was looking online, and you can get Adobe Photoshop for like the 7.0. I mean, that would be better than paying $25 a month. Because I started to look at that, I'm like, what? Do you want me to pay $25 a month? I'm like, God, that's a lot of money. But then also you can use this GIMP program. I don't know where it is, but it's I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But here, this thing here, this is what you need. This is a NVIDIA Texture Tools Exporter. Now this thing is pretty cool because this will read like this. This is the textures in the this is the textures common. This is the thing that I needed to do to fix the windows. But what this will do is you can drag this here, you can see what it is. That's the only way for you to see what the bitmap is. You gotta, and the reason why it says Opera here is because that's my my web browser, the Opera browser that I was using. Whatever you try to open it up with, it'll inherit the thing. You know, kind of sucks, but whatever. But then, so this is the only way to figure out what's on the thing, because you can't tell. So you got to go through, put it here, and then you can see what's on the bitmap. You know, they got all different things. You know, like this is the wing. But that's the only way to be able to see what texture you're working with, because it's in a different format. And the reason why they'd use that format, because I guess it's easier for the GPU to process this format rather than the other format that's in 2020. Tried to use, you know, this DXT BIMP. This don't work, and the cab, the image tool here, that doesn't work. You know, the ones that I used prior. But then what's neat about this program is from NVIDIA. It's a standalone tool. You install it, and then you just and then you can save this as, I can save it as anything that I wanted to save it as. And then this thing would save it if I use a JPEG or PNG. I don't know if it would save it as a, well, I guess this is all supported file form is DDS, bitmap, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, web. and you can convert it to that format. Usually I think PNG, I think they say, is actually probably the best thing. I was using JPEG, but I think the JPEGs aren't as good a quality, possibly. I noticed some degradation when I was doing it. But anyway, yeah, you're gonna need that program. That program if you're going to and like I was trying to say, that it's here. NVIDIA texture tools.exe, and then you gotta go to the website and sign up. You gotta sign up for the thing at first. I didn't want to do it because it's NVIDIA, but you gotta sign up like you're to a college. Like you gotta say what college you're going to. It was very intimidating at first. At first I didn't do it, but then I realized that I'm like, what? I need that program. That's the only way I could see what I'm doing here. I mean, what texture I'm working with. Because you can't tell. Nothing will open that except this thing, that thing that I. But because I guess it's a new format. I mean, I don't know, but Texture Tools 2024 1.1.exe. You can find it in the video. Then you gotta sign up. You gotta say which college you're going to, and you don't have to just find a college. I mean, you actually really do gotta look for a college. I'm an accredited college, and just like I just use the University of Madison. I'm like, I'm going to that school, and then then sign up for it, and then they'll let you download it, because otherwise you won't be able to download it. At first it really pissed me off. I'm like, what? But and then this is for Adobe Shop. This is a plugin, but I tried it. It doesn't work. I tried it with my Photoshop, and unless I don't know much about plugins, that could be. But yeah, I tried to hook that up, and I don't know, that didn't seem to. I don't know. It didn't seem to work. Maybe it's because Photoshop is old. That could be. I mean, but anyway, you'll definitely need that program, because it's real easy. All you do is open it up right there, just right there, drag and drop image here, and put it in different formats. It's actually really nice. At first I didn't want to download it, but then I realized that, yeah, I really do need that, because I don't know what I'm working with. And then you can change it. You can change it over. Then here's all the bitmaps I was working with. Here's some pang files. You see, I can't even open this in my unless I use yeah, I can't even open up a pang file unless I use Photoshop. Bitmap won't work. It won't work. I mean, I can't even open. At least I can see what it is. But now what was I going at? All right, now. You can look at that thing. Well, you don't have to. And then this is now this you have to fill out a bit, I guess. You gotta. I just filled this in myself. Made it into a text file first before I edited it. But or you can probably edit it right now. But I just put this in myself. The Royal Bhutan. And I just typed that in myself there. But I changed it to a text file first. So I mean, to do that, you would just go like and it's basically the same thing, but now you could edit it. Well, I'm sure you probably could have then too, but you just edit it like that. It's one trick I learned, you know, from painting or anything, you know, but then you just put it back to the format that it was, JSON. Okay, and then airplanes and PMDG ER and liveries and PMDG and Royal Bhutan. Then model and airframe. So now this, I guess you don't have to edit at all. But you could change, you could just change this to text and then you can edit it. And I was looking at this too. Now bin, now this you wouldn't touch because there's some kind of program that's probably a C program. So you definitely wouldn't want to touch that. I don't think there's anything in here. I think I looked for there was anything in there. And this is where the textures are, and then thumbnail, this the thumbnail, and then I made my thumbnail. There. And so there's 3 different thumbnails, and 2 are the same size, and 1's a different size. So this is a little bit of work to do, but oh, what the heck. And then too, what you would do is you would copy. One guy was like saying, you know, just copy this whole thing in there, this thing, and put this in a title. Just copy, I mean, just like copy and paste. Copy, paste. That's I learned that from PMDG when doing stuff like that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, copy, paste. That's the way I don't have to edit anything because you're gonna screw it up. I mean, that's one thing I learned from PMDG. I was doing the customer support. I had a problem. They go, copy and paste. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? And so then I'm just even with the XML code and all that. I just learned, man, don't even try to rewrite the code. Just copy, paste. You know, because you're a human. You're gonna screw it up. I mean, you will. But anyway, so just copy this thing here. Copy, paste exactly. Oh, I guess it's not exactly the same, is it? But this all is up to here. I suppose it was a little bit different there. Oh, maybe it's not exactly the same. Maybe it'll still work. But anyway, whatever. ATC Royal Bhutan. And then the texture Royal Bhutan. Now, I don't know why texture equals. Now, to me, that would mean that the texture is called Royal Bhutan, but I don't think the texture is called that. Commercial airliner, then Royal Bhutan Airlines, and A572. At least the number is the same here, like this, A52DD. But anyway, just showing you guys that there, and then delivery, Royal Bhutan Airways. Otherwise, it won't show up in your aircraft when you go to look for that plane. It's not going to show up. That's what I'm trying to say. Is you got to get this right. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But Royal Bhutan Airways, Royal ATC Airline, Royal Bhutan, and variation Royal Bhutan Airways. Now I don't know. This might be from the other developer. I'm not sure what that is. But and PMDG, Royal Bhutan Airways. Like I said, I just edited this thing and I just made it have the Royal Bhutan Airways here. I think I did that. I mean, unless it was that compiler thing, it could have. But yeah, so that's that. Oh, and this is the model airframe. Oh yeah, we already looked at that. All right. So that's done. Now, one thing before I forget is the way that I got rid of those black windows. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of those black windows, and I just took this folder right here, just texture common, because I realized that there's all kinds of textures in here that's common, like oh here, and this is, I just have it shortcutted. This is actually in the community folder, which is community there, and I just shortcut it so I would be able to find it. But PMDER config actually kind of hard to find. Some objects, airplanes, PMDG. Oh, attachments here. It's in attachments. It's in attachments folder. Asset common. And that's why I shortcut it. See, this is so asset common. That's what this is shortcutted to. Should I do that again or go out of it? Airplane. So sim objects, airplanes, PMDG, attachments, PMDG, and asset common. But for when I was looking for that orange color, I just realized that the windows were all screwed up. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. I'm like, what the heck? How am I supposed to fix that? And it got rid of the China markings also. You know, all the Chinese language in there. I just overwrit everything that was in this folder in my texture folder. And it was just a chance. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. But here, let's see what some of this stuff is in here. Like, you know, this is the exit sign. Like some of this stuff there. But anyway, yeah, this is a bunch of stuff in here that's just in the, you know, like this. You know, like the guy maybe has some Chinese stuff in here, and you know, I could like, man, because it was written in 2 different languages, like the doors and stuff. The doors had Chinese markings on them. You know, I think, you know, some Chinese stuff, and then like, this is actually, oh, that's in landing gear bay thing. You know, like Chinese language in here, and I got rid of all the Chinese language and everything, and I got rid of the windows also. Got rid of everything in the windows. So what I done is when so if you guys have that model, you can get rid of that, but it'll overwrite the textures. So then you got to take your textures of the plane, like I would have these textures here, then I would have to put my textures back in after it overwrites them. I mean, so if I was going to do that here, you know, I would take this texture file, and then I would go texture common, and then I would just go copy, and I'd paste everything from here to there. That's what I done. And I got rid of all the Chinese language and everything. I you know, wasn't sure, and it got fixed the windows too. I'm like, oh, awesome! It fixed the windows. I'm like, great, and it got rid of the Chinese letters. You know, the Chinese language stuff. I'm like, oh, that was awesome. But so yeah, you just go copy, and then paste right here, and just let it overwrite everything. And have your textures out, take your textures out that define the airplane, you know, like these, like all of these textures, and then I would just put all those textures back in there and just like copy and paste those textures back in there. Then, you know, just overwrite them. And then you get your airplane back, you know. But that's the only way I could figure out how to, I mean, that's the only way I was able to get rid of those window things. So evidently the guy screwed up something. So I actually wanted to cover that, and I did. Then I did that, and then Photoshop. Oh, this paint program here. Well, all right. What I do is go to tail. DrukAir tail. This is in Photoshop. This is the tail that I used. This one. All right. Now, it's actually, oh, the paint, that's another thing I probably should have so you guys here. There's a paint program from PMDG. You can get it on their website. Paint kit. This is the source PSDs. These are all in Photoshop. And so they got a fuselage here of the 3 separate ones. You know, the first, second, and third fuselage is all together on one. And then they got all the dirt marks and everything all edited for you. So you don't have to edit all that stuff. So yeah, I gotta make sure my microphone's in here too. I'm not gonna be hearing anybody. But anyway, yeah, you get this paint kit here from PMDG. Get that there. The NVIDIA tool is explored, then you just execute it there. You need that. And also this program, this image. This thing here, which is this, you need this program here. The image to MSFS KTX2. There was actually 2 of these, and yeah, I guess this is the one I'm using. You can search on the internet with this. MSFS2020. Oh man. Image to this is the name of it there. If you just type this in the internet, you could image to MSFS KTX2. I'll try to put that in the link, but you need this program also. That converts it from the PNG file to the format that you can't see. And I'll show you how to do that when I do the tail. But anyway. All right. And the one thing I do is I just try to find the best looking tail that I can. And you know, the picture really matters. Don't get a picture with the tail that's like on an angle. It's got to be straight on, like you're like looking right in front of it. If it's a little off to the side, it may look good, but when you go to put it on the bitmap, it's all smooshed. You're like, it'll never work. Even though you want it to work, it'll never work. Even though it's a nice picture, if it's smooshed, like that, squashed, because when you put it on there, it's going to be all squashed, and you'll never fix it. It's impossible to fix. I mean, you can fix it, but it would take you forever to fix it. So the thing is to try to get the best directly faced up right in front of it. Picture, and that's what I got there. Because like some of the pictures that I was looking for, Bhutan air paints. These are my first photos. Just the ones I was looking at, and you. Oh. This is the GIMP. It's GIMP 3 is the program you need. And Paint.net, there's a Paint.net program. Also, I installed it. Paint.net, and then a GIMP 3. This will open Photoshop files. Anyway, these are the photos that what the heck? Not just working. I can't even go through. Finally. But these are the pictures that I just tried to use. That I thought about, using. And you want the biggest picture that you can get. This is the DrukAir. You want the biggest one. For instance, like this. It's a nice picture, but it's slanted like that. That wouldn't work. Just because it's slanted like that. Maybe the tail might look alright, but even that would be kind of hard just because it's... something like this. If it was right straight on like that, and it was big, and it was a big photo, this would be a good one to use. If it was bigger. And I think this is where I got the tail. Yeah, that is where I got the tail. I used this tail on that other one. And you just copy and then print screen. Here, just press print screen, then copy it there. Or no, I guess that wasn't a tail that I used. Oh, that was the other tail that I used. But anyway, then the second photos, and then here's some of the stuff that I got here. These are just all the photos that I got that I could find. This one would look good for a picture. And even the tail, that would even this would be this would probably work good here actually. For that. I haven't found them when I'm going to use yet. But I think this is the one that I used here for mine. This is the one that I used there. Yeah, like this probably would work alright. But and then I got some of those. And actually this would probably work really good right here like that. Actually, I think I would use this one here. Because it's right straight on, and I mean boy, you don't get better than that. Yeah, I think that's the one I would use for the other one. Yeah, that one I probably would use. And here I got this logo. And this is where I thought of the idea on the seats. Actually, I think I did cut this out. Yeah, I did. I cut this out and I put that on the seats actually. That's where I thought of got the logo from. I mean, that's where I thought of the idea for the seats. But anyway, right. Go back to where I was. And I could show you how I built this tail here. Now this is the paint program, and so I have these different layers. So you got well, here I could undo my layers here. I don't know what this one is, but this is the tail that I had another tail on there at first. This is the tail that I copied. I copied this tail over there. And this is something down there. Oh, that's one of the things. That's how I got the tail to match. And so this is my tail. This is and this is the oh, this is the first tail that I done. You see how it's screwed up here? How it's screwed up here? This is where this is how I did it first. But I was looking at it on the airplane and I'm like, man, looks like shit. Like I can't just leave that like that. Because this is like very noticeable. You can see this is very noticeable there. I'm like, oh, I gotta fix that. It didn't take me that long to fix it. But I was just gonna leave it, but I'm like, do that. Oh, and two, these ledger, now these things, too, that's another, these things are called ledger lines. Don't, one thing I learned is don't screw these up, because that's how my one file, and so if you accidentally move one of these with something like this, if you accidentally move one of these lines, just undo it, put it back. Because I found that I moved those lines in the one paint program, and I was never ever able to use the paint program again because I moved those lines. So to accidentally move one, just put it back. Just put undo move. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I learned. I don't know exactly what they do, but don't move them. But anyway, here now this is how I pasted this in here. I guess I what? Oh, here. This is what I did at first. Well, no, it wasn't what I done at first, but this is the one that I used here. Now this is the one I done at first here with this like this. But what I done is I took the eraser, and you can see that this is like kind of erased a little bit. I put it I put the the brush eraser. You put eraser, and then you put can use block, airbrush, pencil, paintbrush, and just put paintbrush, and you can put the opacity level of it, like 31% or 20% even, so that you can take off just a little bit of this thing, because if you look closely, you'll see that it's just a little bit, because I was trying to get rid of this line here. This line here. And actually I was able to do it, really, I mean, it took me a couple hours. But I was just erasing one technique. Actually, there's a few techniques that I use. But you can gradually erase it, and you don't erase it here. You erase it when it's on the thing, so you could tell what you're erasing. And so this, what I had this on there at first. I guess I just plopped this here. I just copied this from somewhere over here, and I copied it there, and I just put it there. And I figure, well, it looks pretty good. But it still looks kind of crappy. And so, here's another way to fix stuff, is take a part of the color and just put it there, in which you let it determine where to put it. I don't want to move it, because I got I mean, I suppose I could move it and just don't save it, but I suppose I would. I don't want to move it. But what you do is you take this color, you go copy, you do this, and you go copy the texture, and you got to make sure this texture is marked. And then you move this thing around here until it just blends in the best you can. You can do this is a technique I learned, before when I first started to paint. When you got unmatched textures that don't look good. You use the edit free transform. And so this, you could, well, no, I did that again. I don't want to do that. But you free transform it. And then you could see, look how good that looks. Because what I did is I took this thing and I free transformed it, moved it around, and then I tried to move it. Well, here maybe I could show you just. Well, I don't want to touch it. I'm afraid to screw anything up. I suppose I'm going to have to. But you see how that works, how that blends in right there? I mean, because it matters where you put this. Because if I put this in a different spot, it wouldn't work. If I put this in a different spot, and if I moved it around in a different place, it wouldn't fit. I mean, it wouldn't. You have it just so it blends in. I mean, you see how beautiful that looks. I mean, that just looks beautiful. And then so you erase the parts that you can see. With the opacity, you slowly erase it until you get the edges, because before it looked like that. Looked like shit. Like that here, looked crappy. I'm like, oh man, come on, I gotta fix that. And now look at it, look how nice it looks. I mean, it just looks beautiful, man. But you can see the way I done it there. I just I'll take a layer, but you see just that one, and it matters where you put it too. You just move it around until it blends in. And I can show you. I will show you. And so then you see how that's kind of mixed up there, and then and I think I put this color right there to where it gets kind of blended in there, and then took another color here like that too, like here, where is it, that thing. Now I just edited this and I stretched it out a little, then put it into a spot, found out where the colors match it, the best spot where to put it, stretch a little bit, move it like this a little bit until the colors until it just looks like it's supposed to fit there. Just move the color around, like flip it over until you get it to where the color almost looks like it's supposed to be there, but it's not supposed to be there. But then, and the other one I used with this one here, then I did the same thing with this one. I moved this one around until I moved it until where it's like, I'm like, that almost just looks like it belongs there. I was like, cool. And then but then you just erase it a little bit, and or erase some of the parts, the back parts. And I guess this is another one. Yeah, this is another one I used. I think this is one of the first ones I used. But you see, that looks like it belongs there. but I'll just go and show you really quick here. But here I'll put I'm not going to save it. This is want it on this layer, this one, and make that a blue layer. And so, and I would go take this one. I can't even see. Can't even see my mouse. I have trouble seeing this thing. It's really hard. So I copied one of these things here. You go layer via copy and take it, and then here now you can move it around. And you can see where if I can move it, where some spots it blends in, like it doesn't fit there, but it fits more down here. You know, you see it kind of changes color. You see that almost just fits right there. You see what I mean there? Like you can tell it don't fit here. You can tell it way don't fit there. But now all of a sudden it just kind of just disappears. I mean, look at that. It just basically disappears more or less, kind of. And then so you just kind of move it around until it just kind of disappears. And like here, it's disappeared completely. Well, of course, that's where I got it from. But then you can, you know, like this doesn't belong here, but now it looks like it belongs. Then if you just erase it just a little bit here, then you know you can blend it in, you know, slowly. And that's one technique I learned, and it works really well. Luckily, you can kind of see that this just kind of just disappears here. But I'm not going to save this anyway. But I just wanted to show you with the tail. And then so what you do is I'll just delete that. But I'm not going to save it but you see how I got rid of all that? Then it looks just beautiful like that. But and then so what you do is you just take this here, and I copied this over. You can open up you can save it as a pang file, and then open up the pang file and make a background layer. Make a background layer, and then just cut using this thing here. You'd cut this here, and then you could paste this. So you cut it here, you go cut. Then you flip it over. Oh. I don't really do it. But you flip vertical. And flip horizontal. And then you can fit it here. But this I just did with one whole layer. You're not supposed to do that. But I just to try to show you an example of how to do it. Now then, I just have to put this back, but I'm not going to save it. But what you would do is you would save that in a separate file and open it up, and then so when you got this, then you would just slide it over. See, maybe I should just do it really quick. Oh, now I can't even. But until I'm right now, I have like 48 gigs of RAM in here, and sometimes my Photoshop doesn't work. I hope that's not going to be the case. So then, oh here, all right, this will work. Sometimes it doesn't work. I think it's going to work. I'll show you what I mean by doing that. So right now, this is a pang file that I had saved. And I got to remember not to save it. Okay, and then so, okay, duplicate layer. So there, duplicate layer, because it won't let you edit a layer. That's a background, that's the first layer. That won't, the program won't let you do it. So it's got to be, you got to make another layer. And you could go here, and then you'd go like this. And layer be a copy. And there, then you got another layer here. Now you have this layer there. So now, which is the really cool thing part of Photoshop, is now I could take this layer and just bring it over here like, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't. What? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, I think it's, oh, it must be down here. What? Oh, I guess it's up here. Maybe it didn't work. Oh, come on. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now, and then, so then what you gotta do is you got to cut the one off on this side. So you'd cut this off, just erase it, then like erase this part, then erase the bottom here, and do that little flip thing like it says, like edit, transform, flip vertical, and edit, transform, flip horizontal. And then you after you cut it, then you can put the tail back right where it was supposed to go. You go up here and zoom in. Zoom in and the program does kind of go back in the spot where it's supposed to be, but I mean you could, you should actually really come up real close and get it to be in the exact spot like that, and then you fit on screen. Then there you go. Then that's your other tail. Then what you do is you just close this and don't save it. Don't save. And close this and don't save. There. And that's how you do the tail. So that was the tail there. Oh, I should actually show you guys how to do this thing here. And how I do it. I can probably do it with the tail there. for me, what I had to do is I had to save this because it won't. Like I said, I don't have a lot of RAM in my computer. Usually, I would have like, I'd fill it up all the way, but your computer run faster with less RAM. So I'm running at 8,000. So I can't. I would have to buy different RAM. And I tried to put more RAM in here, but wouldn't work with the RAM that I bought. I thought I could just buy 2 more sticks and put it in, just run it at a slower speed. But this RAM that I bought, it won't work like that. But so I kind of screwed myself there. Because I already tried to put it in twice. Tried to put more RAM in, but couldn't do it. But anyway, here's what I had to do. I go file and then save as. Now it would probably work, but I don't want to save it because I already got it saved. But it would probably work here, but I don't want to save it just because I already have it saved, and all you do is press save. Then it would save it. This one would probably work, and then, so then I would save it here. But normally it doesn't work because I don't have enough, like I said, I don't have enough RAM. Like sometimes I can't even save my work. If I was working on something for like half an hour and all of a sudden I try to save it, it won't save it. I go, what? And so I got to shut off my computer again too. And I also learned that the recycle bin, keep the recycle bin empty, because I learned that that's in RAM also, because whenever I empty my recycle bin, the program starts working again. I'm like, oh, okay, so the recycle bin is in RAM. So that's one way I've tried to encounter, and I also shut my computer off and restart it. And then that also, I guess, creates some space in my RAM. But I noticed that works. So, but anyway, I'll try to open it with this other program. Open with this GIMP thing. But oh, what I meant to do it the other way. I meant to open this up. Open with GIMP. This will read PSD files, Photoshop files. So you see it'll take a while because it's loading. This program's alright, but see, it's loading, and here's all my layers here. Here's all the layers. Quite honestly, I don't really know too much about this program. But it opens Photoshop files, and I guess you can use it instead of using Photoshop. Then what I've been doing is I've been converting it to paying with this file. I would go File and Export As, and instead of a PSD, I would write paying PNG. Then export. Well, I should probably just do it once for the heck of it. I'm sure it's alright. So export Well, maybe it should cancel. Maybe I should oh. I've got it copied anyway, so it doesn't matter. So export, and then you just type in here. Oh, and you gotta wash it down here, and go in here and P. It's already a P and an NG, and I just type in NG and hit enter. Then already exists. Do you want to replace it? Replace. And you can see it's working down here like that. Then you go export, and you can see the progress that it's making here. But yeah, that works, I guess, just as well as using Photoshop. I just been using it when my Photoshop doesn't work. To copy the file is the only way I could I wouldn't have been able to paint the program without this thing. I mean, paint the airplane without this. There, now it's saved. And what I think I'm going to do is just there, just replace it, just in case it's screwed up somehow. All right, and then once I got that there, now it saves as a pang file. And what you would do is you'd open up this file here, this program, image to MS09. This is you can probably even just look that up, but I'll put it in the description. And then you put the file in here, this file, or you can do all of them at once. But what I've been doing is just delete, then copy here, and put that in there. And this is the output folder. This is where this folder would get rewritten. Output here. Then you open up this program here. And then this has, oh, and you also need to put the software development kit in here from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Because it's reading, it's using the files in the SDK to write this. So, but that guy, this guy made a program that would just do it. I mean, this other guy did not affiliate with Microsoft, but he wrote this program, and you got to get this program. Some image to MSFS converter version 0.9, and then you see where it says has XML fail. Oh, and also you got to do the pass too. You can modify the pass, but I haven't been doing that because you can make the path exactly that goes in the folder, but I haven't been doing that. I mean, you could actually make it go into the path where you want it to go, but I just been using here. Okay, and then so you got to write 2. It says to generate missing XML file. So it's got to have an XML file. So you just go, you press 2, and hit enter. And it says OK, XML OK. So now it writ an XML file with the pang file. That's required file, as they said. Okay, and then you would generate KTX2 file. So that would be number 4. So hit number 4, and then hit enter. And it opens up that. And it's reading the SDK. And you can. I mean, I don't know what all this stuff says. I was thinking about recording it and trying to see what it's saying. And sometimes, there was one time it wasn't working on me. It would be red. You know, some of the words were red in there. And it wasn't working. And I found out that I moved the ledger lines around. And I couldn't fix it. It would always turn up red on me. I'm like, what the heck? What am I supposed to do? And so I had to use that GIMP program to fix my thing. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm really scared there. I didn't think I was gonna be able to finish the airplane. Okay, then hit enter, and then it'll clean up the files, and then it'll write the files. So it made this into the file. So then if you open up this, there's my file there. There it is. And it's even got a little bitmap there. But the one thing I did notice is that looks kind of like it's got a weird layer on it. I don't know why that is. I mean, it looks kind of not right. I never even, actually, I don't even think actually, you know what? I don't even think I've ever looked at this. Maybe I will. See what it wrote. Version, source file, data, flags, compression, quality high, is transparency true. Actually, I never looked at that. Make sure I write it back as a JSON. Yeah, so then you get that. And then what I was doing this and doing this, and take this and put it's working. Take this over here like this and put it over that like that and open with. There, and then I said JSON file again. And then the thing which I had learned is I got like 2 shortcuts. So this is the shorter cut. So I would, after a while, you get this. You're doing it so many times that, man, just put a shortcut in there. And then even with this texture here and with the even, you know, because I was taking, you know, because otherwise I got to go texture, I got to go sim objects, airplanes, liveries, PMDG, rub 10, and texture. So I just copy this to here. You know, the airplane, this is the airplane where I got the airplane. So I'd copy this texture, I would just copy this to here. Or no, I'd copy the airplane here. I'm thinking. Yeah, I would copy the airplane. This would go into Microsoft Flight Simulator right here. Just do that. And that's how you do that. Right now, maybe I'll try to do the moment to seats. DrukAir fuselage. Or no, not. Oh, yeah, see how this guy's got the carpet over? See the carpet's over here. See, this is where I got my red thing right there. I got the red right over there. Then I got the red right here. I had to figure out where that was. And see how this guy's got the carpet over that right there, which is a good idea. But this is how I got my pillows in here. I got my pillow just in the seat right there. And a DrukAir, and then here's a top here. And then here's that little arrow here right there. See, I had to adjust this little arrow there until I got it just right, until it matched. That was a hard feat. I wonder. Oh no, this is the fuselage one. This is the whole thing. So this is the whole fuselage here. And you can take this wire frame off here. I was just doing it because I mean, this is so you can see where the stuff goes. So in other words, these are ledger lines, what I was telling you about. Like here, you can probably move it with this little thing here. You can move it, but don't ever move those, because I think what happened, because what you do is you take this and you go, and you take this like this, and you bring it against it, and there, and then you'd snap it there like that, and then you'd go crop it, and then you would crop this whole middle one here, and these would go away. And then so it's, but you would not want to delete, you'd want to use a copy of this, because otherwise you would delete the other ones that you have made. So, because it will delete the two sides, and then it'll just crop it. Then you can make this as, you know, as your other bitmap. Because in other words, if you did not have this, you would have mismatches in your fuselage color. And there's no way. I mean, well, I suppose you probably can. You probably could recopy the color over from one side to the next. But even the lines of things didn't line up. This is the only way that you can get them to line up. You know, to get everything to line up perfectly. You know, from one bitmap, you know, from one bitmap to the other. But oh, see, these are how I started with the dragon pills. Look like that at first. And this is the way this one looked at first when I got it on the internet. But I resized it, you know, I stretched it and skewed it. So I got it to fit right. And here, this is how I got that orange. The orange right here. Because that really looked really odd if it was gray. And here's the other orange I found. It took me forever to find that one little spot. That one little spot there. I mean, it took me many hours. Not days. And here's that other part that's under here. That blue thing. That, the blue one that's, I don't know if it's, oh. CFS, yeah, this one. See, look where that blue thing is. It's hidden. Hidden right underneath here. That's why I couldn't find it. I mean, I spent like 2 days looking for that. You know? And, other ones. I think this is actually the wrong one, actually. Oh no, I guess it's the right one. But the other one's up here. So the one's down here and another one's up here. But that's not what I was looking for. Well, here I think maybe this is it. No, wrong one. Yeah, see, this is the Durk Airlines pillow. I mean, the Braille Bhutan Airlines right here. This is their pillow. See, it's a nice looking pillow. That's the kind of pillows that they give you. And I was going to copy and paste this over, but it doesn't work. So I had to go ahead and use one of these pillows. Here is I wanted to use that pillow, but it wouldn't work. Looked like shit. Just because it's pointed up and it's not flat. You know, like here it's flat, but it's pointed up, so it wouldn't work. So I had to use one of these ones that don't look good. Or I think I use this one. But that's not the one. Oh, this is the picture. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for... Look for those blue seats. Oh, it's the pre. Yeah, here, this is the one. This is the one. This one took me a real long time to do, and I can show you what I mean by this is so every one of these pillow things I had to match it with, and every one of these is different. They're not the same. Like this doesn't go with this one. Like this one would go with this one over here. Like this one would go with here, and this one would go. You know, they would all go to different spots, and I had to figure out what spot, what seat I was working on. So I had to that was really hard to do because you know this is part of the pillow. So I had to take this part of the pillow here and match it up here. Another part of the pillow which might have been over here, over there. And I do the same thing over there. So that's where I was yeah, that took a long time. And also these also took a long time. And how I done this here, I had like a color there. Oh, probably can't see it there. I see here I got a color there. I get this color here. Oh, here I was using that color down there. Then I got that color there. And that color there. And that color there. Yeah, I suppose that's it. I can probably just I probably just oh, I suppose maybe I don't have to. Oh, maybe I should just for the heck of it. And so what I would do is I'd open with GIMP 3. And go file export as NG as writing it, export. And see, this is the one I had selected. I try not to do that, because otherwise I can accidentally move it. That's why I don't really like messing with these files like that. And now it's exported, and it first class seats, first class free. I think it's I'll make sure it's the right one. All right. And so I go copy here. And then what I would do is since this one, and so and two, I would sometimes I'd mix these up accidentally. And what I would do is I would go here and I would go copy and delete. And paste. And sometimes you got to actually press this down and make sure that it'll work. I mean, and it says okay, because sometimes you don't press the box, it won't work. And 4 and hit enter. And it says press any key to clean up temporary files and hit enter. And I would go copy, paste, replace, close these. And then this. With, done that. The community folder. Copy there. And start up Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, now you could see I have the colors in the seats. See, I got the blue color there. There's a green and a red. And a green and a red. And that one don't have a color. So that's how I had to figure out, and to figure out what was going on behind here, I had the colors here. So in other words, to identify this seat, I had to get green and a blue. I know which one that was. And to figure this one out, I would look at here and say, oh, okay. It's that pattern with the blue there. And a thing there. And this seat here is one, the green up on top. Green up on top like that. Okay, and then the red one. And this one was the one that would look like that. With this marking that looked there like that. Then with the purple down below like this. Then I had to look at that in the bottom. Get this one to match there. The black one, see, I got this, I got the black color there. And that's how I was able to match up all this stuff. And for instance, I would sit there, it's okay, and then say print screen. Oh. Now I so there you can see how I got the seats marked. And to find this particular seat, I would look at my markings here and I would say, alright, I got the green up on top and I got the blue on the bottom. And this is not a mark, this is part of the bottom of the seat. This is the bottom of the seat here. And that's the way I would, I know that this is here and then that other, there's nothing up here, there's nothing here. And I would determine that that's where that went, and then then when I got everything right, I would take that off, the green off, the violet off, baby blue, and the brown. Oh, and then the red, this is even red, and then the blue. Then I would put them back. And look, this is where I got these little marks here. I had to get that just perfect. There's 4 of them. There's one there too. That was another, that was really hard. And this is a layer here. DrukAir. Okay, I'm gonna one or the other. Now hopefully I didn't move anything, and hopefully I didn't. You know, that saved it. Okay, now actually really go see how my layers are here. I can just take these off of here. This time I'm not going to save it. Oh, and two, I had adjust it too. So these I took them off in a piece, so I had to take this off. So I had to adjust them a little bit to get them to fit properly. And this is the one pillow that I adjusted to get this in there. And that pillow there. Just there. There's a pillow gone over there. Four red tops. Yeah, even trying to name them, it's actually kind of difficult. Trying to name them. That's the red that would be on the bottom, I guess. These are all pieces that I just put together, and then so that would be on there. And these are all just colors. I think I got those colors from maybe one of the pillows. This one I got from the one pillow. Oh, and then here, these are the logos here I got from the logo here. See, that's the logo, I got it, and I just put it on there. Actually, what I done is I took this from the tail, and I plopped it on there, more or less. That's where I got I copied this, then I copied the tail texture and I put it there. So this is actually the tail texture. That's how I made that's how I made that design there. And this is the Bhutan. This is the one I was going to use for the Bhutan Airlines thing. I was going to do that first, but then I started doing the DrukAir, and I just said, well, I'll do the DrukAir first, and then I'll just come back to that later. Yeah, these things here. And so this is actually for the Bhutan Airlines. When I get the Bhutan Airlines done, it'll, so in other words, it's halfway done already. And this is what I was working with, two of my default ones. There, and so there's the whole thing right there. There's that thing. So, yeah, this is getting kind of long, this video. But I don't know what more. I should actually do here. Maybe I'll just stop the video here and make it a part 2. All right, yeah, maybe I'll just do that. So this is a part 1, and then I'll make part 2 video. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Alright, so this is going to be the end of part 1. Alright, so this is the end of part 1, and I will continue in my next video tomorrow, I guess. Okay, I guess thanks for watching. Okay, bye.